Yo, what's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? Good afternoon. Nice little Sunday. Just got home from church, feeling okay, looking okay. I don't know. How you guys doing today, man? How's everybody doing? God bless you all today, every day. Fantastic Sunday. It's a good day to have a good day, guys, right? All right, let's get into it a little bit. Let's see what's going on. So, Bitcoin trying to climb above resistance. We've got resistance at $110,142. We're sitting just a hair above that right now, about $25 above resistance. Can we break above and close above? Well, that would be interesting, right? It is our weekly close this evening. So can we get above? This is where I want to see us get above. $110,628, $630, right? If we can get above there and close above there on the weekly, not bad. Not too bad. So, but like I said, guys, we could ping pong in this range here for, the latter part of next week, right? Before finally playing out the double bottom and moving to the upside. So just a little bit more patience, right? And I know that there's some people out there that are tired of hearing about patience and they're tired of hearing about DCAing and stuff like that. But here's the thing, guys. You got to keep this in mind. If you panic sell, it doesn't affect anybody except for you. If you get frustrated or angry, it sounds mean, and I don't mean it this way, but I don't care if you sell or you hold or you buy. It doesn't affect me or my portfolio, what you do. It doesn't affect anybody else except for you, right? So to get mad at me and say that I'm trying to keep you from selling, I don't care if you sell. In fact, if I'm being blatantly honest with you guys, we need emotional sellers in this space because those are the same people who we use as exit liquidity later because they come back in and they start buying when everything's pumping while we're all selling. So if you want that to be you, by all means, don't let me stop you. I don't want this community to lose. I want everyone to win. But I'm also not here to argue with you about as some sort of representation of the market, right? The market's going to manipulate you. The market's going to frustrate you. I've been saying this for, what have I had this channel now for 3.5 years? I've been telling you guys this. And some people are tired of hearing it, and I get it, man. Look, I get it. Some days I wake up and I'm frustrated. Some days I wake up, I look at the charts and I'm like, oh, enough. Can we just go already, right? But how I conduct myself and the decisions that I make define whether I'm successful or a failure when it comes to crypto, right? Just a little food for thought, right? A little food for thought. Let's get into the super chats. What do we have going on here this morning? Leo dropping that dry powder on me. Happy Sunday, Brother Rob and Crypto Fam. Let's go. Absolutely. Life on Mars. What's up, buddy? Happy Sunday, Rob. Got to snap that Jasmine up. Absolutely. Can I get an amen to that? Kale Dog, thank you for everything you do, especially at this moment. Hey, absolutely. Thank you guys for being here with me in this moment. Benjamin, happy Sunday, brother. Excited to see you 1st of October. Let's do this. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right, we are through the super chats. Let's get into the chat a little bit, see what everybody's talking about. Who's talking smack? Who's talking smack? Behind my back. Jared, what's up, man? Hope everyone has an awesome day. Keep making that cheddar. Absolutely. Guys, we absolutely crushed it. We crushed it on a short yesterday on MYX. We absolutely destroyed it, right? I'm going to bring it up here. Over in our trading group, if you're a member of our trading group, you know, right? But we called this yesterday. We were up here, and I said yesterday we were going to come down to this level. You see these two lines right here, right? Two support levels. I said that's where we were going to come down to. So we shorted it right here, bam, all the way down to $12.17. Perfect textbook playout yesterday, right? And then it came back up and recovered after that. So we made a steal of a move on shorting MYX, we made a move of, we came down, what, 15.5%. Very, very nice short. For everyone who leveraged shorted that one, congratulations, man. That's why you want to be a member of our trading group, guys, because we're crushing it, man. Even when the market is red, we're freaking crushing it. So, William, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Hoover, what's up, man? Hope you're holding up well, holding up as well as can be. Good to see you. Thank you so much, Hoover. I appreciate you, man. I'm holding up okay. It's nice to have these live streams for a little bit of a distraction. You know what I'm saying? Get the mind on something else. Quentin, I see you, buddy. What's happening, man? Ari's in the house. Happy Sunday. Yo Mars. J Money, first Pokemon of the day. What's happening? Oh, House says no likes equals no bull run. I'm so pre-rich. You thinking Rectober? No, I'm thinking Uptober, brother. Uptober. I think right now, hang on. I think right now, the market has everybody so bearish and so negative. October is going to shock people. It's going to shock people. That's what I think. So everyone's bearish. Market's going to go nuts. We have the jobs numbers come out on October 3rd. So if those are still, bad for the job market, which is good for crypto, because it implies a potential rate cut in October, right? So we'll have to see. And if we do get a rate cut, here's the thing, guys. Right now, there is no rate cut priced into the markets for October. No rate cut at all priced in. Zero. Anyone who tells you that the market is priced in a rate cut for October is full of it, right? Because the market doesn't know. Powell doesn't know right now. He doesn't know what the jobs numbers are. He has been so tight-lipped about what they're thinking over at the Fed for October. Nobody knows what they're going to do, right? Let's see. Let me look here. When is the FOMC meeting in October? I can't remember the date. I know the jobs numbers come out on the 3rd. So that's a date we're going to have to watch. If jobs numbers come out bad, market's probably going to pump a little bit because that will be the market starting to price in a rate cut in October. When is the FOMC meeting in October? Let's see. When is Powell speaking in October? October 28th and 29th. So he's probably speaking on the 29th, right? So right at the end of the month. So that leaves us time. If jobs numbers come in bad, that's going to give us time through October to be pricing in a rate cut for October, right? Probably just a 25 basis point cut. And let's do one better. What are the odds right now of a rate cut in October? Let's check that out. What are the current odds of a rate cut in October? Let's see. As of right now, the probability of a 25 basis point rate cut in October is 87.7%. Pretty juicy. The probability of a 50 basis point rate cut is 10.8%. So not great for 50%. The probability of no change, of a pause, of zero rate cut in October is only 1.5%. There's only 1.5% odds of a pause in October. A 87.7% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut, which again is not priced in to the market right now. We've seen no pump since the 25 basis point cut in September to indicate that the market is pricing in a 25 basis point rate cut in October. So that's going to be a catalyst that we still have to look forward to, in my opinion. Ari says, not on the poll, but I hope to buy more cookie and well. Nice. There you go. Two good options. Alex, I bought Pico and bought my first bag of Zebek. Nice. There you go. Each Elon, Prime, and Vara are also at phenomenal buys right now. Nice. What do we got, guys? We have 181 people here. We have 53 likes, guys. Smash that like button. Hit the like and subscribe on your way in. Joanne, blessings to everyone on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Absolutely. Pharrell, Yo Rob, thanks for all you do. LFG, great entry point this morning. It just added to my bag. Nice. There you go. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. What do we got? Candyman, what's up, buddy? Ladies, if he can't appreciate your fruit jokes, you need to let that man go. Nice. There you go. Jay, what's up, man? How is the M2 money supply looking? How is the M2 looking anyway? Let's have a looky-loo. It's been decorrelated as of late, so we haven't really looked at it much until it re-correlates. We've got the Bitcoin dominance still trying to creep its way up. Let's go have a look at the M2 here. All right, so M2. It's kind of weird. We kind of have this pump here, a little bit of a pump right here. And then we have this, like look at this here. It kind of looks like it's starting to recouple a little bit here. You've got this pump and then a little bit of a dump, right? You've got this pump and now I've got this little bit of a dump. Are we going to see this next leg up on Bitcoin now? That's the question, right? Oh, and you guys aren't even seeing what I'm seeing. I apologize, guys. Here. Let me show you what I'm seeing. There we go. Now you can see. See? So let me do that again because you guys didn't see what I was doing. So what I was saying was you've got this pump up followed by this dump. That's horrible. Let me do that again. You've got this pump followed by this dump, followed by this next leg up. You've got this pump, you've got the dump. Are we getting ready to see the next leg up for Bitcoin, right? Possibly. So a little bit of decoupling, but are we starting to move our way back up towards recoupling with the M2 money supply? What else do we have? Big Kev, thank you. Your leadership is keeping the Patreon members on track and locked in. Up or down, we are ready to take the next steps. Lead us to the promised land. Absolutely, brother. I got the fries across your eyes. You know it, my guy. You know it. Let's keep it rolling here. Cryptides, what's up, man? Pico and LFG holders will be blown away from how well they will do. Absolutely. Can I get an amen? Alex holds 5 million Pico, 11 million LFG. There you go. That is a winning combination. We just need everyone to buy and hold and not sell our coins. Yep. Those listings are coming, guys. Those listings are coming. Just got to be patient. There she is, Gamma Goddess in the house. Blessings. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's get this money. Amen. Paul, good to see you, man. Gerald bought Quant and EMDR Bigly. Nice. That's a win right there, man. Daryl, all right. What's up, Isaac? Second Pokemon of the day. We got Lick a Tongue. What's up, man? I'm sure hoping for a bullish. It's called Uptober, right? Dave, what's up, man? Let's go, baby. Absolutely, man. Ari says, hey, Gamma, how are you? Ray, what's happening, man? Good to see you, buddy. Strawberry Dragons, continued prayers for you and your family. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Strawberry Dragon. I appreciate you. Prayers are always welcome, my friends. We got this, though. Absolutely. Benjamin Truth Rob, the market thrives on panic and FOMO. Yes, absolutely. Ray says, that's what I love about you. You keep it real and honest. Absolutely, man. That's what we got to do, right? People don't always like the truth, but we're going to keep shoving it down their throats, baby. Scoop up another 1 million XTB. Nice. There's a win right there, buddy. There's a win. Mary says, good morning, family. Wise mind. You're the man. And blessings to the crypto space, brother. Absolutely. Sharon, how are you? Hey, Rob, keeping you in mind. Can you tell me if this is an important week to de-risk BMNR and SBET pre-market ETH stocks, or wait to see? I would wait to see how they open, to be honest with you. I mean, BMNR is more of a longer term hold for me personally. So I would at least wait for its next leg up, even if it takes a little bit longer. I do think that Ethereum's going to have another, not much of a leg down, maybe 5-10%, not much, but personally, I would just hold on to BMNR. That's just my view of it. Super Groove, fortunes will be made, but big money isn't going to give it to you. Be patient, stay vigilant, and DCA, absolutely. K Lilly, too little Powell. Yeah, too late Powell, absolutely. Rob, I haven't DCA'd in about 5 months, but I'm still holding and not panicking. There you go, brother. That's how it's done. Hold strong, man. Carlos, Swift was on. Yes, it was. It was actually the top DeFi play last night. I was looking into it. Yeah, Swift will melt faces. People think that it's a boring project. Well, that's the thing. When a project is boring, that's exactly when you should be accumulating it. You shouldn't be looking at what's pumping and what's sexy. You shouldn't be looking at that, the shiny object syndrome. You should be looking at what's boring, what's sideways, what hasn't done anything in months. Not financial advice, but that's what I do, and it has never let me down. Gamma Goddess, I'm blessed, thank you. Absolutely. David, time is money. Good to see you, Crypto David. Good to see you, brother. Green Tea's in the house. We got Squirtle. Alt season into 2026 at this point, yeah. Sam, Rob was wondering if I should be stacking more Zbeck and Mirius since they're the only two projects I have large holdings in. Condolences on you and your family and your hardship. Sam, yes, thank you so much. And yes, that would not be a terrible idea, man, to continue to just build your bags up, right? That's what I'm doing, right? Moonwell is boring for now, but it will melt faces. Exactly, Ari, exactly. Boring is good. Crypto go boom boom, all season into 2026. Yep, already answered that one. Yeah, looks like that's probably what's going to happen. So, yeah. But Bitcoin will likely top this year still, though, so... okay, we're caught up in the chat, guys. Let's get into the news. Let's see what's going on out there. Global Bitcoin competition accelerates as nations prepare strategic reserve programs. Cointelegraph reports a nation-state Bitcoin adoption is transitioning from gradual acceptance to rapid acceleration. Jan 3 founder Samson Mao told the What Bitcoin Did podcast that countries are moving past initial skepticism towards strategic cryptocurrency reserves. According to Mao, Bitcoin adoption among governments is at the tail end of the gradual stages of entering the beginning phases of suddenly. The crypto industry veteran emphasized how quickly these transitions can occur when momentum builds among nation states. These things happen very quickly, Mao explained, referring to the potential for more countries to adopt strategic Bitcoin reserves. Mao predicted a massive nation-state panic and government buying pressure in the near future. However, he noted that while the U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve, the U.S. government has not yet started purchasing Bitcoin. The U.S. currently holds 192,012 Bitcoin, according to BitBo data, primarily from law enforcement seizures. Strategic Bitcoin reserves represent a fundamental shift in how governments view digital assets. Chainalysis reports that these reserves initialized demand and converting scattered interest into coordinated, volume-driven purchasing programs. Budget-neutral acquisition frameworks reduce political friction and accelerate adoption once implemented. We previously reported that 15 U.S. states had begun taking steps towards establishing government-owned Bitcoin reserves, with states like Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, and New Hampshire proposing to allocate up to 10% of the public funds for Bitcoin purchasing. This state-level momentum creates pressure on federal action and demonstrates growing institutional acceptance. The timing implications are substantial. Mao warned that the risk is that the US is front run by Pakistan, referencing Pakistan's announcement at Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas about establishing its own strategic reserve. With Bitcoin's fixed supply capped at 21 million coins, large scale government purchases could drive significant price movements and create competitive pressure among nations. The potential for coordinated government Bitcoin acquisition creates unprecedented market dynamics. JP Morgan notes significant skepticism about congressional approval for strategic crypto reserves, with several U.S. states rejecting proposals due to the volatility concerns. Switzerland, Poland, and Singapore have also rejected Bitcoin reserve initiatives. It is no surprise to anyone that JP Morgan, headed by Jamie Dimon, who has been wrong about crypto in his predictions so many times that even artificial intelligence cannot track the amount of times that Jamie Dimon has been incorrect in his predictions about Bitcoin and crypto's trajectories. So it's no surprise that JP Morgan would put out a statement that is negative towards crypto assets. However, 21 Shares research indicates that countries like Argentina may adopt Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset in 2025, driven by inflation rates exceeding traditional hedging mechanisms. El Salvador and Bhutan have also demonstrated successful implementations, with Bhutan accumulating over $1.1 billion in Bitcoin holdings. The emerging competitive landscape suggests a shift towards recognizing Bitcoin as a hedge against macroeconomic volatility, while central banks remain cautious due to volatility and regulatory concerns. Sovereign wealth funds and government treasuries are exploring Bitcoin allocations more aggressively. This creates a two-tier adoption pattern where progressive nations gain first mover advantage, while conservative institutions risk falling behind in digital asset innovation. Cough, cough. JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, cough, cough. Gamma Goddess dropping that cheddar. Prayers to all. Don't know what people go through. Exactly. Pico's in the house. Pico says JP Morgan been lying just like BlackRock for years while they accumulate. Eyes open yet? 100%, Pico. 100%. Amen to that. You know what? Let's get into a little clip here, guys. Little Pyth clip for you, a little Pyth update. Okay, so forgot to take your Pyth pill? Here's 2 minutes of weekly recaps for Pyth.
In case you forgot to take your Pyth pills last week, I'm here to catch you up on all the big ecosystem news you may have missed. The big one, Pyth Pro, a new market data service built by and for institutions, with the likes of Drum Trading and several large institutions already on board. And we went for a nice little swim and welcomed Blue Ocean, the undisputed king of overnight equities trading, to the Pyth network as the newest market data provider. On the price feed front, several hot new tokens and price feeds were launched last week, starting with XPL from Plasma, which has made a ton of noise with its stablecoin infrastructure. We also had 0G, the token of the largest decentralized AI operating system. Pyth also launched USDH, the native stablecoin of Hyperliquid by Native Markets. And one last for the road, Aster, which has been the talk of CT and latest Hyperliquid killer. On the DeFi front, builders are keeping busy. And of course, leveraging Pyth institutional grade data to build the best products. First, we had Remora Markets, a protocol enabling 24/7 trading of tokenized stocks on Solana and using the Pyth US equity feeds for accurate pricing. Then, Polynomial launched zero-fee perps to compete with other perp dexes on that front, on a trend that doesn't seem to cool off. We go back to Solana with Rain that launched their new product, Delegation. And last but not least, Orderly launched Orderly One, which gives builder the ability to launch their own perp dex in minutes, no code required. That's it for another massive week for the Pyth network. If I missed any news, let me know.
If you're sleeping on Pyth, you have plumb lost your mind, my friends. All right, what else do we have here? UN blockchain aligns with our digital and inclusive governance agenda. Blockchain technology has steadily helped companies and organizations to improve transparency, cut costs, and reduce fraud in areas like finance, supply chain, and healthcare. Now, the United Nations is taking steps to integrate the technology more deeply into the operations after testing it within its pension systems. You heard that right. The United Nations stated that blockchain technology is a key tool for its digital transformation and inclusive governance strategy after a successful trial in its pension fund system. A new white paper released by the global body concluded that blockchain provides the ultimate technology for digital identity verification, with the potential for the UN to now scale the technology across its agencies to promote it as a global digital public good. The project is centered on the United Nations Joint Staff Pension Fund, or the UNJSPF, which manages retirement benefits for staff across the UN system. For decades, the pension fund has operated using a manual paper-based process that requires beneficiaries to prove their identity and confirm they are still alive. More than 70,000 beneficiaries in 190 countries. The system was slow, costly, and vulnerable to fraud. The reliance on physical documents often led to errors, delays, and even suspensions. It also led to around 1,400 pension payments being paused each year because of verification problems. To address these challenges, the UN has decided to utilize blockchain to participate in a Hyperledger Foundation. The initiative was launched first in 2020. And then there was a larger rollout in 2021 when the pension funds moved to a digital certification system built on blockchain. The white paper described the old pension system as a 70-year-old process prone to errors and abuse. Every year, the fund had to manage paper forms from tens of thousands of retirees worldwide. Staff spent hours receiving, opening, scanning, and archiving documents, and all these steps introduced opportunities for mistakes or delays. According to the report, this challenge, I gotta close this. Boom. According to the report, this challenge to blockchain technology improved efficiency and transparency. Beneficiaries could confirm their status digitally, while the fund gained creator confidence with fewer weak points in the system to be exploited. Quote, the shift away from physical documentation has substantially reduced processing times, the UN report's authors noted. They referred to how blockchain allowed beneficiaries to securely verify their identity and status without mailing or submitting physical paperwork, cutting down the processing times and making the system more resilient, while also eliminating repetitive checks and the risk of duplicate data entry. The United Nations is now exploring ways to adopt the digital certificate of entitlement model, which is the blockchain-based identity verification system, across its agencies and potentially share it with other international groups. Big news, guys, as we continue to see world governments adopting blockchain technology. It is the future. Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren are screaming into pillows somewhere, and I could not find it funnier. Bullish on XPL? Absolutely. Not a good buying opportunity right now, though. Not a good buying opportunity. It's been pumping like crazy. Solana ETF approvals and market implications. Anticipation builds as Solana ETF approvals loom for mid-October 2025, involving top asset managers like Franklin Templeton and Fidelity. This potential approval could trigger a bullish market shift, transforming Solana's landscape by enhancing institutional engagement and driving significant capital flow. Solana ETF approvals could occur by mid-October of this year, with key asset managers like Franklin Templeton and Fidelity submitting the necessary filings. These filings aim to include staking and yield generation, which may influence the broader market dynamics. You're probably going to see big money start to pour into these Solana ETFs if staking and yield generation is a part of it, guys. Do not sleep on Solana. Involving major asset managers such as Franklin Templeton, the filings feature amendments for staking and yield generation. These alterations are anticipated to impact institutional participation, like I just said, and potentially boost interest in Solana. The announcement has led to Solana's price drop around $200, sparking speculation of a bear trap. Market experts predict a potential bullish movement if the ETF approval proceeds. Such financial implications might affect market liquidity and institutional inflows. Solana has seen a $2 billion net inflow over 30 days, bolstered by expectations linked to the ETF filings. Comparisons are drawn to the Bitcoin ETF approval in January of 2024, which triggered significant capital inflows and price growth. Solana parallels with Bitcoin may reinforce expectations of positive regulatory outcomes. Analysts expect the Solana ETF approval could yield financial and regulatory benefits, bolstering both the ecosystem, which Pico and LFG are in, by the way, and its underlying infrastructure. Institutional capital might gravitate towards staking opportunities. Of course, they're going to gravitate towards staking opportunities. You think they don't want to generate interest yield generation on their investment? Of course they do. Absolutely. Milk Money says, hit the like, not the nuts. Robin, hey Rob, I would like to thank you so much for all your knowledge and help and lots of strength. Hey, thank you so much, Robin. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support. Pico says, hit the like for the Father Rob. Absolutely. Absolutely. Smash, whack it, crack it, whatever you got to do. Ty, I see you, buddy. What's going on, man? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Okay, we only got a few minutes left, so let's listen to Michael Saylor talk some smack about Bitcoin. Check it out. Michael Saylor says, if people knew what I know, Bitcoin would go to $10 million tomorrow.
Volatility was a gift to the faithful. It scares away the tourist. It scares away the lazy. It scares away the people that are already conventionally rich, that have all the money. If you're a 20-something or a 30-something and you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to spend 100 hours or 200 hours, if you have more time than money, then the volatility of Bitcoin is a gift to you. If you have more money than time and you're arrogant and egotistical and you just pick the obvious, then if the volatility goes away, you buy Bitcoin. If people in the rest of the world knew what I know and they understood and they agreed with me, Bitcoin would go to $10 million tomorrow.
Let's go.
And if Bitcoin went to $10 million tomorrow, I want you to think about how you would feel and how your viewers would feel, because you would lose 20 years of stacking opportunity during which you get to buy at less than $10 million. So the difference between $10 million and 100,000, that's what you give up if the volatility goes away and people start to agree with you.
Can I get an amen on that? Can I get an amen? Isaac, this is my X profile right here, buddy. You want to follow me on X, that's it right there on your screen. Notice the blue check mark. Crypto Future 99 at Rob Mass. Check it out today, guys. Follow me over on X. Blessings, John. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Pico says Crypto Future. Exactly. 100%. All right. We got time for one more piece. Let's check this out. ETF, Ethereum ETF outflows. So Ethereum price today, 800 million in ETF outflows. Whales accumulate. What's happening? What's happening? Ethereum news saw an action-packed week, to say the least. Ethereum's price today remained indecisive, fluctuating around $4,000 amid the surge in ETF outflows. Further exchange balances dropped sharply to their lowest levels since 2016. And what's more, spot Ethereum ETFs recorded 800 million in outflows. Now, while analysts highlight liquidation risks, if the Ethereum price falls below $3,700, large investors continue to accumulate tokens during the pullback. So whales are buying Ethereum while you're sitting on the sidelines debating whether it's a good idea. As Ethereum's price dropped, Ethereum news also saw spot ETF outflows explode, recording 800 million in outflows in a week. The launch of an Ethereum staking ETF also played a role. This shift reduced available liquidity on exchanges. Market analyst Ted Pillows said liquidation risks had concentrated near 3,700 to 3,800. He noted that leveraged positions built around this zone increased the chance of forced selling. If the Ethereum price slipped under 3,700, liquidations could accelerate. Charts shared by Ted showed clusters of potential long liquidations. So we could see a bit of a long squeeze is what he's saying, which would drive the price of Ethereum down more, which would cause me personally to buy a shootload of it. In more Ethereum news, Glassnode data showed that the volume on Ethereum held on exchanges declined to about 14.8 million Ethereum. That represented a 52% drop from the 2016 peak of 31 million. The exchange balance was at its lowest level in 9 years. That's bullish if you're wondering, if you're unsure, right? Analysts said the reduction suggests tokens were moving into staking contracts, cold wallets, and institutional custody, which means if people are not holding their Ethereum on exchanges and they're moving it over to staking mechanisms or cold wallet self-custody, it means or implies that they have no intention of selling anytime soon, which takes more out of circulation, which obviously increases the value of your coins, right? The decline in exchange balances reshaped how traders viewed the market. A lower supply often signals confidence among long-term holders. Tokens locked in staking or moved to custody were less likely to be sold quickly. However, analysts said that the lower liquidity also increased short-term volatility. If demand spiked or sellers entered the market suddenly, prices would move more sharply. The mix of reduced supply and concentrated leverage created a two-sided risk. On one hand, fewer tokens on exchanges support a bullish structural case. On the other hand, leverage positions near $3,700 raise the chance of a near-term downside. So it's bullish that we're seeing a lot of tokens being taken off exchanges, which means people are not intending on selling them, which adds confidence to the asset. However, there being so many long positions at $3,700, there is a high probability that we see a long squeeze and we see a bunch of people get liquidated, would drive the price of Ethereum down a little bit further than that, maybe 36, maybe 3,500, maybe 3,400, right? So something to keep an eye on. Jay, quick question. In your opinion, how common is it for GameFi projects on Binance Alpha already live on Epic Games Store with 1 million verified users to have to pay out millions in blue chip rewards, or does that set it apart? That could actually set it apart if they're paying out in blue chips. Absolutely. We've actually played with that idea with Pico and LFG for giving away rewards actually in blue chips, your quants, your H bars, and stuff like that. So I think it kind of sets it apart personally. And thank you, Jay. Thank you so much. I think Syrup is a good one to look at. It's due for a pump. Syrup's a good project, absolutely. Big John, what's up, buddy? Zebek to the moon says, Jared, absolutely. Pico says big things are coming. Amen to that. All right, guys, listen, I got to get out of here. I have not had lunch yet. I have a lot more stuff to do. I will see you guys a little bit later tonight. I'll try to get on for the 8 p.m. live stream. So I will see you guys then. And guys, I am uploading. I already uploaded one trade video for the trading group today. I will be uploading at least one or two more later today. So keep an eye out for that, along with a new video that's going to be added to our research, crypto research and microcap gem hunting course. There will be a video uploaded there as well over on the Patreon. So guys, get over there today. Join our trading group. The link is down below. We crushed it on an MYX short last night. We're going to keep the party going, guys. Market's boring. Market sideways. We're making money. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing on a string. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.